Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet again another prospect preview, the fourth one we've done so far, and we're looking at the first defenseman of these previews. A defenseman that, after watching some of his highlights and doing some research, he may not be the best defenseman in this draft, but he has a chance at going top 10 and maybe even top 5. David Jiricek. Now, before we get into the preview, make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button down below. I would greatly appreciate it for more new hockey fans to come in and watch these type of videos. And anyways, I won't waste any more of your time. Let's get into the prospect preview.
Červenka, Jiricek, další rána a je to gól. David Jiricek, poté co skoroval poprvé v národním týmu v přípravě, tak teď dává svůj první gól na mistrovství světa.
So some basic info here on David Jiricek. He was born November 10th, 2003 in Klavtovy, Czech Republic. He's a defenseman. He shoots right, so he's typically a right defenseman. And he is 6'3", 190 pounds. So compared to the other defensemen that we talk about in this preview, I think we only talk about one other defenseman, maybe two. I'm not exactly too sure yet. But more or less, he's probably the biggest defenseman of them all. And he brings everything you need in a defensive defenseman. He brings the shot blocking, he brings the good passing out of the defensive zone, and is just all around a good defensive defenseman in his own zone. Jiricek even went through knee surgery this past season, and it didn't affect his draft position at all. That tells you that he's going to be a very top player in this coming draft. Some draft rankings here for you. They're kind of all over the place. I look at Elite Prospects, or they rank him number 2, if I'm not mistaken. That is the highest of every single ranking. He's ranked number 7 by Bob McKenzie, ranked number 6 by Craig Button, ranked number 6 by ISS Hockey, ranked number 4 by NHL Central Scouting, and ranked number 5 by Sportsnet. Now, the interesting thing about Jiricek, he's actually one of the older players in this draft. He turns 19 in November, so you're getting a player who's played in men's league, is much more physically mature than some of the other defensemen you're going to get in this draft. He could be ready right out of the gate for whatever team picks him. I know I'm wearing Seattle. I'm just going in order of the draft rankings, but I've seen rankings where he goes as high as 2nd and where it goes as low as 28th. This draft is like all over the place for some of these scouting sites. I know I'm not wearing them, and that's because I don't have any merchandise for them, but I think it would be ideal for him to kind of go to Columbus. It seems kind of fitting. You have Jarmo Kekalainen in there. He's looking for some type of Czech Republic players. I think it will work out, and it kind of seems fitting having Gavrikov there as well, and then Jiricek comes in. You're going to have a very good blue line adding him to that spot. Some statistics here for you. In 2018-19 with HC Plzeň U16, he had 19 goals, 21 assists for 40 points, mind you, as a defenseman, so that's very good. In 2019-20 with the HC Plzeň U20 team, he had 6 goals, 11 assists for 17 points. In 2020-21 with the HC Plzeň, he had 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points. And then this year with HC Plzeň, he had 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points. Apologies if I'm butchering that team's name. I know I probably am. But those are the leagues against men. And he's putting up pretty solid numbers as a defenseman, so he's already getting that experience against men, kind of like Juraj Slavkovsky. In the international realm of statistics really confuse me because, like, on Elite Prospects, where I get the stats from, it'll be like Shazekia All, Shazekia International Junior, Shazekia International. I'm like, what are these for? So I just grabbed the one where he had the most points with Shazekia All. He had 3 goals, 4 assists, for 7 points. He looked very good in there as a defenseman, so he's proved at the international level he can play very well as well. And although he's a defenseman, he has very good puck handling skills. You look at these clips, he has very good just handling the puck through the neutral and the defensive zone. And honestly, although I said he's a defenseman, he could have some potential offensive upside. Not a lot, but there's some there. You look at strengths, you got teamwork, puck handling, blocking, and passing, kind of everything you need as a defensive defenseman. Again, going back to Columbus, you have a lot of young guys there. Sillinger, Chinnikov, you have a lot of young guys there in Columbus. I think the ideal position would be for him to go to the Blue Jackets, and I think he has all the assets where Jarmo Kekalainen, if he drops to 6, I think the Flyers could very well take a chance on him because they need a defenseman. Kekalainen may say, well, maybe. For weaknesses, it's actually kind of interesting. You have his skating style. Okay, so his skating style, I'm going to need to go more in depth here. So how he plays out there on ice, how he skates out there, is that instead of taking those long strides, he kind of just marches across the ice. He takes those it's like he's running, basically. It's more or less like he's running out there. And it's actually really similar to how I skate. So when I saw this, looking up his clips and researching, I was like, oh, this is cool. I think I'm going to like this guy. But nonetheless, Jiricek is one of those defensemen who could very well go top 5 in this year's draft. It just depends on the draft. This draft is just absolutely wide open. EP Ringside spoken on David Jiricek, saying, quote, he can walk through the line and get a shot through traffic or load up an absolute bomb of a one-timer. I don't have a shot in there as a strength, but it's definitely one of them. He has, like I said, he has some of that offensive upside, and his shot absolutely helps that. To wrap this one up, Jiricek is one of the most interesting defensemen heading into this year's draft. He's very well competing with Simon Nemec for that first defenseman being selected. And honestly, if one of my favorite teams took a jump on this guy, like the Flyers or maybe even the Coyotes, I wouldn't complain. I would love to see this guy on that blue line. He just looks so good out there, and he looks like he knows what he's doing. He has the experience against men. He's very good defensively. There's some teams that need that, like Philadelphia. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for the prospect previews for this week. We will start the ones up next week, starting off with Simon Nemec, Carter Gauthier, and Frank Nazar. So anyways, thank you all very much for watching Fry Sports Elite. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Adios.